to my channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Threadtails. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy New Year to you all. It is now 2025. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's 2025. It just seems crazy. I think I'm still in that mindset of it's the year 2000, and then when I realise it's 25 years later, I'm a little bit shocked. Is that a really weird thing to say? But I'm like, how did we suddenly get here? Anyway, I hope you're all okay. I hope that none of you have got too much of a sore head after last night. Did you have a big party? Did you celebrate in a big way? Did you do what my husband and I did? We had a very calm, quiet evening in together. All of my girls were gone. They were either out or they'd left to go back to where they live. So it was just the two of us. And instead of drinking, we decided to consume as much of the naughty Christmas food that was left over as possible to get it cleared and out the way. So that's what we did last night. We did lots of planning for 2025, which felt really great. We've kind of written down dates that we knew we had to make sure were in the diary, so there was no double booking of anything. We've kind of blocked out days of we want to get this room decorated, so we're going to block that date out for doing that, or actually we'd like to go away, we haven't got anywhere planned, but let's write that date. So it's kind of felt really good to do that. So it was quite a nice evening to do that. And then we stayed and doing that, and then suddenly at 5 to midnight we went, oh, it's 5 to midnight, right, let's put the telly on, watch the fireworks, say Happy New Year, and then went to bed. So we had a very calm, very nice New Year's Eve. So I just want to also say a massive thank you to anybody that supported me throughout the month of December and watched my Vlogmas. I really enjoyed doing it, and I was so appreciative of anybody that watched, liked, commented, etc, etc. It was so lovely of you. Not only that, but also quite a few people bought me a coffee through my Ko-fi account, and it always shocks me when that happens. Hopefully I've been on and I have thanked everybody individually on my Ko-fi account, and if I haven't, I will be very soon. But thank you so much. It always shocks me. I always kind of think, oh my gosh, that's so incredibly kind. So thank you so much for doing that. It really does help and make it feel really worthwhile carrying on and doing the videos for you all. So thank you so much. If you are new here, then a massive welcome. I hope that you enjoy the content that I'm bringing you. If anybody hasn't subscribed, then do please push that subscribe button. It really does help me, and it helps to get those videos out there to a wider audience as well. So I really do appreciate that. Right, on with what today's video is all about. So today is going to be a plans video. I am going to plan out what I intend to sew over the next coming weeks. I also would like to talk about other plans that I have in place in terms of sewing, but not actually doing the sewing. I don't know why I'm doing this, because I actually sew on a machine, but I'm hand signaling sewing by my hands, doing stitching. So things that I'd like to get done that are sewing related, but not necessarily actually sewing an actual thing, garment or something. And also some plans for videos and things like that. So let's get on with it, shall we? So first off, I'm going to talk about gifts. Now, I feel a little bit weird doing this because I watched Ruan's plans video, the Yorkshire Sew Girl, and her first set of plans is pretty much my first set of plans, and I feel like I've watched it and now it looks like I'm just copying her, but I promise I'm not. I promise I did kind of think of this myself. So if you're watching this, Ruan, I don't know if you do, but if you do watch it, I'm very sorry. I haven't copied you, I promise. Ruan was saying that she goes away with some girlfriends every January, and she's going to be making 3 bestie bags, or hopefully making 3 bestie bags, one for each of her friends, which is such a lovely idea. And when my girls came home over the Christmas, they had all looked at my bestie bag, which I haven't shared with you yet, but I will be. But they saw it and were like, yeah, I'd really like one. So I've thought, great, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to get some bestie bags done. I think that'd be really nice. And then I watched Ruman's video. I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing too. And not to do like a one-up from her, but I actually have 4 in my plans. Sorry, this sounds really weird now. So let me explain. So first of all, my youngest daughter, I've been going through my fabrics and I've been trying to find bits and pieces that I don't have to buy new fabric. And I came across this really nice denim. Now, I've got a feeling I made a pair of dungarees out of this. I'm not 100% sure, but I am going to be making her a bestie bag out of this denim. I haven't chosen any inner fabrics, any webbing or anything like that yet. That's all things that I need to get. But as far as fabric is concerned, denim is the first one for my youngest daughter. Then my eldest daughter, she has something that looks a bit like a bestie bag, which I think she bought from a shop called Uniqlo, and it's teeny tiny, but she says it's really handy and she would quite like one, but bigger. And hers is just in a black corduroy, and I have some black corduroy which I have destined to make a pair of trousers, but I have so much of this, I feel quite confident that I can cut into this and get the bestie bag out and still have plenty for a pair of trousers. So medium sized bestie bag for all of them, and this one is going to be for my eldest daughter. Then my middle daughter said that she would quite like something really pale and something that's a bit more summery, and I've got this leftover beige corduroy, and I said to her about it and she was like, yeah, that's absolutely perfect, that would be brilliant. So the beige corduroy for her. Now the fourth bestie bag that I would like to make, but I don't have the fabric for, but I won't be buying any, I just need to work out exactly what it is that I'm going to use, is going to be for my sister. Now if any of you have watched any of my vlogs previously, you will have seen that she's made me some really lovely things. She made me a 2D stitched sewing machine, which is like a not an ornament but a hanging display, and she also made me a lovely little lunch bag, and I just think I'd really like to make her something. She loves my bestie bag, so I'm going to make her that. Now if I have enough of the purple corduroy, I might make her one out of that, the purple corduroy that I made my flight suit out of, which again I haven't shared with you yet, but I will be very soon, and I also made my bestie bag out of it. I think she would quite like one like that. If not, I need to have a chat to her about what colours and things she likes. Now she's all about recycling, reusing, making up fabric. She's definitely not about going and buying lots and lots of fabric. So I want to try and make sure I do make her something that's out of fabric I already have, and I haven't had to go out and buy it, because I think she'd appreciate that more. So those are my 4 bestie bags. The next gift that I would like to do is, it is my middle daughter's birthday on the 20th of January, and I would like to make her some face wipes, and it's something that I talked about in my gift for November. I haven't got around to making them. November and December were just far too busy, and I just didn't get a chance to do it. But I have these really inexpensive face wipes that I bought in preparation for doing that. I thought I could get 4 face wipes out of each flannel, so I will probably do 2 for her, so 8 face wipes in total, and I'm just going to choose some really nice brightly coloured fat quarters out of my stash and back those so that I can make her some face wipes for her birthday, and probably make some sort of little pouch or box or something that she can pop them in, so she can store them in there as well. So that's the next gift that I would like to get done. Then for my husband, I have had this fabric for a little while. I bought this fabric from, I think it was Exeter Fabrics, and it is a really lightweight cotton with these motorbikes. He is motorbike crazy. I kind of get a little bit annoyed about it because he's so motorbike crazy, but he keeps going on and on and on about me going on the back of his motorbike, which I don't want to do. But at the same time, I quite like the fact that he's got the hobby because it gives me lots of sewing time. So it's kind of I suppose it's okay. I just worry about his safety. I don't like him going out and thinking that he might get hurt, which I know is silly. I'm sure he'll be fine. He's a very sensible person. But I would like to make him a shirt out of this, and it is his birthday on the 10th of February. So I would like to get that done up for him by the 10th of February, if possible. So on to some non-clothing sewing related things that I would like to make for myself. So I really want to make a Maker's Caddy that is by Adam Sews, and this is his Maker's Caddy pattern that I have. It is so fabulous. I have got so many lovely friends who have made so many lovely versions of this, and I am a little bit jealous, but I am also a little bit scared. Now Adam has very kindly said, you know, don't worry, can always contact me, I can always help you. That's very kind of him, and I really do appreciate that. But I think the thing that's stopping me is just that I've never done any kind of quilting before, as in sort of a piece of fabric, the wadding, another piece of fabric, and doing the sewing. So I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a couple of mats for my sewing machines to go on. Now currently I have them on some felting that is from you just buy it from like Dunelm. It's got sort of a shiny top and a felted bottom, and it's great because it means my sewing machines can slide around on my desk really easily. I can move them around. It makes life really easy. But the felt that's underneath them, because it's felt, they gather up dirt and gunk and bits of thread, and it's really hard to get it off, and they look disgusting, I'm not going to lie. So I thought it'd be quite nice for me to have a couple of mats that are just made out of fabric and all quilted, and I thought I'd have a go at doing that, and that would get me set up and in preparation for making the Maker's Caddy. So the Maker's Caddy I'm going to be making up in one of 2 sets of fabric. Now Adam very kindly put together a kit for me, and I just said, look, I like rainbows, I like turquoise, I like bright things. I just basically like your backdrop of your videos where all your fabric is. That's pretty much it. So he put me a little kit together of these absolutely gorgeous fabrics and binding fabrics. Oh, that's lovely. I love that. And lots of straps, which I think I've shown you these before. I haven't quite sort of worked out why I need so many straps, but I'm sure all that will become clear. A zip, some more binding. I've got some mesh, and I've got some of the vinyl as well for putting in and inserting in some of the sections. So I've got that fabric, and I've also got some fabric. Oh, he put together the hardware as well, but they're all sealed up in a bag. And I also then went ahead and bought myself some fabric as well, and that's this. So I have to make my mind up which I want to make the caddy in, and then I think I'm going to use the opposite for making up the mats for underneath my sewing machines. That's my plan anyway. I think I said that I was going to make John a shirt, and I didn't actually say what pattern I was going to use, did I? No, I am just going to be very boring, and I'm going to use a shirt pattern that I've used before, and that is the McCall's I think it's 6044, whatever the pattern number is. I'll put it on the screen, and I'll put an image of it up as well. Now I have been promising for ages that I'm going to put up my sew along for this shirt, and I am so sorry that I haven't, but I promise this Monday I will be putting up the sew along for this shirt. Basically, I need to go and just make sure I've got the timestamps so that if you want to, you know, fast forward to how to insert the collar, you can just go to the collar bit or what have you. You don't have to like try and fast forward through it. That's all I've got to do. So I'm going to get that done between now and Monday, and I will release that video. I absolutely promise, but it won't be in this fabric, obviously, because I made it ages ago. But that's the shirt that I'm going to be using for that. So it's a tried and tested pattern, and one of the things that I would like to do is I'd like to make one thing for myself which is tried and tested, is quick, it's easy, I've done it before, I know I like it, I know I like the fabric, and that is a Nina Lee South Bank sweater dress. I know that's boring, but it is still cold weather, it's going to be cold, and I really fancy something. I talked about it before. I'm going to make it in this beautiful cable knit fabric. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I think that will make a really lovely South Bank sweater dress. I think I've got enough. If by any chance I don't have enough, like I say, I'm pretty sure I have. If by any chance I haven't got enough, then I'm still going to make the Nina Lee. I'm just going to make a jumper out of it instead. But I absolutely love it. It's been in my cupboard for ages. I've got to stop procrastinating, and I've just got to get on and do it. And it's a tried and tested pattern, so I know it's going to be absolutely fine. So over the next month or so, I'm going to be involved in 2 different collaborations. One is to be making the Rydal jumpsuit by Izzo Sews, and I'm going to be making this in conjunction with Becky, who is What Beck Sews, Adele, who's Sew for Serenity, and Katie, who is Whatever Katie Sews on Instagram. So we decided that we were going to make this jumpsuit all together. Now at first I wasn't particularly struck by this when it first came out, and I don't mean that in any rude way, just some things appeal to you and some things don't, and at first I didn't really think that it was something that I was going to want to make. But then when I was away in Glasgow at the Scottish Frocktails, we saw the very lovely Ruan, who is the Yorkshire Sew Girl, and she was wearing a version of this in black, and she looked fabulous in it. And I just thought, actually, maybe I do want to make this. So I suggested it to the other ladies and said, do you fancy doing a collaboration? And they were like, oh yeah, go on then, let's do it. So I have cheated and I have actually cut this out already. My intention is to make this in this gorgeous black bamboo jersey, which I actually bought in Scotland as well. I think that would be a really lovely, you know, go-to jumpsuit. Ruan's was black, and it just looked like something she could put anything with. I can't remember if she had a coat on or not, but I can imagine her wearing a leopard print sort of coat over the top of it. Tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think a black jumpsuit is very versatile. It will go with lots of different things. It's lightweight enough that you shouldn't get too hot in it, but because it's black, you can dress it up and you could certainly layer it up, and that would be really lovely. But I have cheated because I have already cut this out in some fabric, ready to trial run it. Now, I don't think this will be a very slow make. No, let me reword that. I think this will be a quick make. So I'm hoping that, look, I'm going to have to just show you a scrap of this fabric because it's all sort of tangled up. But I've got some really inexpensive viscose fabric, viscose jersey fabric that I bought at Birmingham Rag Market. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to just try that jumpsuit out in that. If this doesn't work out well, or I need to make fit adjustments and things, then I've got that all set and all ready to go so that I can then make this the good version. So that is collaboration number one. So the next collaboration that I'm going to be involved in is to be making the styler tails. I'm having to look at my notes because I keep forgetting what it's called. So this is a 3/4 button. I don't think it's a zip, I think it's button. 3/4 like popper, oversized sweatshirt, fluffy, warm, snuggly jumper for wearing in the winter. Now, this isn't my normal kind of style. It's not something that I have ever made before, and I don't have anything like this in my wardrobe, but I really fancy it. And a few of my friends are saying that they were going to be making it and decided to do a collaboration with it. So I thought, actually, I think this would be quite nice, especially as the really cold and horrible weather is going to be coming in shortly. So we are going to be making it, and that is going to be Catherine, who is Soverton Makery, Mandy, who is Make It Sew, Rachel, the French Seams, Tanya, who is Just Let Me Sew, and possibly, although we're not 100% sure yet if she's going to do it or not, is Sam, who is Sew Let's Sparkle with Sam. So we've all decided we're going to do it. Now, I haven't got the pattern. I've bought the pattern, but I haven't got it printed yet, and I haven't got the fabric. And I'm not gonna lie, I am in a bit of a I don't know what to make it with kind of moment. I was thinking I have to make it with Sherpa fabric, but actually I don't think that's essential. So I think that's now just opened up some more opportunities to me. So I'm going to have a really good search around, but I'm trying to decide whether to make it in plain fabric, and if I do I make it dark, or do I make it light, or do I go a bit more fun and make it in a patterned fabric? I can't decide. I mean, I'll put some images of what it looks like up on the screen. Please do give me your thoughts and opinions on whether I should go plain fabric, pattern fabric, dark or light. I just don't know. I really don't know. So I'd like to have a good play with it, but I've got to get a bit of a wriggle on, because hopefully we're going to all make it sort of by mid-February, but we'll see. So the only other thing that I've got on my list to actually make, and this is to complete a WIP, which I'm sure you have heard me talk about over and over and over again, so I'm very sorry, but I am going to finish this either later today or tomorrow, and I am not going to pick up and start any of those other things that I have talked about until I have done it, and that is this thing over here, the Sew Over It Jessie Coat-A-Gun. It's lined, it looks lovely. I just need to get on and finish it. So I had a little read of the instructions last night to sort of finally figure out exactly what it was that I needed to do and what's left on it. And I think I have 5 very small basic steps. So if I don't finish it, is a bit of a bad job, and if I say or suggest that I've started anything else before I say I've finished this, I'm giving you all permission to shout at me. So I will be finishing that today or tomorrow. I'm actually quite pleased. I have finished a few projects over the last few weeks, and I will be bringing out a makes video towards the end of this week, but I'll talk to you about that in a moment. So that is all the actual sewing that I've got planned. The next thing that I would like to do that is sewing related but not actually physically sewing is I would like to decide on a trouser pattern that I'm going to use to make up this amazing fabric. Now, you know, I am not a leopard print person. I don't do leopard print. I don't know what's happened to me. All I can say is I think there's a lot of influencers out there that have influenced me to get this fabric, and well, shame on you. No, I'm really joking. I'm really, really loving this fabric. I don't think it's something I'll wear across my face. I will say, for any of you that are in the UK and might know what I'm talking about, I was digging this out of my fabric stash this morning, and my husband happened to be nearby, and I pulled it out, and as I did, he went, "All right, Bet Lynch." So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I was like, wee. Anyway, I would really like to make a pair of trousers with this. I have thought about making the Tilly and the Button Thea trousers because I've made those before. I know what I'm doing. I know they fit. That would be a really good trouser pattern to do, but I just don't know if that's too wide for me, and I'm a little bit on the fence. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to go for it. I'm not going to do a toile. I just want to go for it. So possibly the Tilly and the Buttons Thea trousers, but do let me know in the comments. Do you think that this is too... do you think that those trousers are too wide a leg for me to make this in as my trouser pattern? I really love this fabric, and I don't want to get to spring and then bordering into summer and I've missed my opportunity to wear them. So I do want to crack on and make them soon. But my idea is over the next few weeks is that I will knuckle down and think about exactly which pattern I want to use. So ideas, please, for the leopard print denim that I've got. Oh, and this was from Rainbow Fabrics that I bought at the Knitting and Stitching show. Now, I was going to pile that up on there, but I've got a very big pile of stuff that I've been talking about here. So the other thing that I want to be thinking about is I want to be thinking about what I'm going to make and wear for the Frocktails that is happening here in Plymouth. So myself and Lizzie, who is from Make Fabric Boutique, we are going to be we have organised a Frocktails that's happening on the 15th of March here in Plymouth. It's going to be on the Hoe. It's going to be a fantastic event. It's going to be super inclusive, and you can come whether you're a beginner sewer, advanced sewer, etc, etc. But it should be lots and lots of fun. We have got an Instagram page, and we've got or Lizzie's got a website with lots and lots of details. I'm going to put a link into all of those things down below in the description of this video, and I'll also put a link in, if you haven't bought a ticket and you fancy one, to the ticket sales down there as well. So we would love to see you, but like I say, I need to think about what dress or whatever garment it is that I'm going to be wearing to Frocktails that I need to make. And you don't have to make a dress. If you're a beginner sewer and you've only ever made a t-shirt, wear a t-shirt. That's absolutely fine. It's all about creativity and celebrating what you've achieved. So please don't worry that you have to wear a dress, because you absolutely don't. So yeah, so I want to think about that, and I keep swaying from one sort of idea to another. I keep going, oh, I want sleek and slinky, and then I went, oh, I want big and full and flary, and then I think, oh, what about jumpsuit? And then I thought, oh, my head's like that. Woo! I'm sure everybody else's heads do similar things. I hope they do anyway. So yeah, so I'm trying to think about what I want to wear for that, and I'd like to get, by the end of January, I'd like to think that I have got my idea down, that I've got the pattern purchased and potentially the fabric, so that in February I can make it so that it's all ready to rock in March. So other things that are going to go on in this next few weeks is I would like to reorganise and declutter my sewing room. Now, I have actually been doing a little bit of reorganisation, and currently you are sitting on my new table. Now, I'll be bringing out a video at some point in the next few weeks once I have had a really good bash at decluttering, but I have rearranged this room that I normally sew in, and I I need to do a little bit further work on it. So for example, in this cupboard here behind me, there is lots and lots of sewing patterns, sewing items, some fabrics, various bits and pieces up in the cupboard up above. I'm going up that as if you can see up there, but up above in that cupboard, there's lots of things I haven't used for years. I need to just go through it and actually get rid of a whole load of stuff, really declutter and really free up some space. I've been doing that in other parts of my house and it's very liberating, and I'd like to do it in the sewing room. That said, on top of that, I would like to destash a lot of my fabric. I have definitely got myself into a sense of overwhelm and too much fabric, and I really want to destash as much as possible and minimize it down so that I have a much more clear, focused amount of fabric that I know exactly what item is going to be used for. I don't mind having maybe a maximum of 5 unknown fabrics that I just really love and I want to use them but I don't know what for. That's fine, but no more than that. And that I really work on not having WIPs all the time, because I do think having a bit of a rearrange already of my room and going through some of the WIPs that I've got here, I've just got so many, and it clutters up your mind because you think, oh, I need to get that done and this done, and yeah, so I'm trying really hard to be very good and very focused on decluttering my house, decluttering my sewing, my fabric, and decluttering my mind so I can just sew and be fully focused on what I'm doing. So that leaves me with what videos that I am going to be doing. So first of all, I want to ask you a massive favour, and that is, would you please let me know what kind of videos you would like to see from me? In the past, I have done Friday sews. I do my 1 week me made, which is a week following me for a week. I show a little bit of my everyday life and including what I wear, and then my reflections on the clothing that I wear, normally me made. I sometimes do plans videos, I sometimes do makes videos, and very occasionally I do a sew along. But if you have any other kind of videos that you would like to see from me, then please do let me know. And you see, I have been wondering about maybe not doing my 1 week me made anymore, because I've done them now for a few years. I really enjoy doing them. I think they're a nice thing to share, but maybe I should do something different. I don't know. So any ideas from you guys would be lovely. It'd be lovely to be able to produce something for you that you actually want to watch. So the things that are coming up in the next week or two is on Friday or Saturday, I'm going to be bringing out a makes video of all the things that I finally finished in 2024. And then I will be doing my shirt sew along from a long time ago that I recorded. I'll bring that out on Monday. And then I'm going to get on with making, so I might do a few Friday sews if that's something that you would enjoy, but yeah, do let me know. So I hope that is something that you would enjoy seeing. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I think I've rambled on enough now, don't you? I think I'll wrap it up there. So have a wonderful rest of your New Year's Day. Speak to you all soon. Happy sewing. Bye.